let me go down. Hey, everybody. Hey, hey, everybody. It has been a few weeks since you seen your girl. I hope everybody is doing well. Let me drink a little bit of water. Okay. It is Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, guys. I'm going to wait and see if a few people come in. This is later than my usual time. Usually I do around between 6 usually. Hey, Carolyn. How you doing? How you doing, girl? I can count on my girl, Carolyn. How you doing? How's things going? How you doing? How's the weather where you're at? Because South Carolina. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. Just surprised. Thanks for the thumbs up, girl. You know what to do. Well, actually, today was a little bit better. But here in North Carolina, we have been having some cool weather for these past couple of days. I'm really surprised. How is it where you are? Didn't you say, I think, if memory serves me correctly, are you in California? Are you from Cali? Let me see. And if so, how's the weather out there? We're going to get into some stuff. We're going to get into an update. Um, the weather is beautiful like a summer day. Yes, Northern California. Okay, yeah, Northern California. And I think I said my daughter, I don't know if like in past times I said my daughter used to live out there in California, but and she was out there for like 7 years, but she was in Southern California. She used to work for a Navy base out there in Southern California. So I'm just trying to see and wait if we can get a couple of more folks up in here because um, I ended up getting a message from someone and they wanted to, just like in the title, they wanted to get an update on my client, Miss Rosa. And yes, she is still with me. I am still dealing with the Miss Rosa. And then aside from her, I'm also still dealing with a couple of clients that actually, have are dealing with some type of thinning, like kind of like I would say, like how mine is, because that's still considered that's still like a thinning issue. That's still a thinning issue. But there is some things that I'm doing. There's some other stuff that I'm trying. I found out about some other stuff that I'm trying, but I want to wait. I want to wait until I talk about that because I want to try and see if it works first before I say what I'm doing because I am trying something else. It's no chemicals, it's nothing from the dermatologist or anything like that, but it's something else. It's a concoction that I am drinking. It's something that you juice. It's a combination juice that I found out about, and then I already have started it a couple of days ago. But like I said, I don't want to say anything yet. I think I want to give it like a month to see if I see any difference. You know what I'm saying? And then if I do, I'm going to come here and I'm going to tell y'all all about it. So let me try to see if I can see who this client was that. And then I also have not only the update on Miss Rosa, but I also have an update on Sisterlocks and all the stuff that's happening with that. But a client, and this is a new person, a new subscriber, not a client, but a subscriber. And I want to say shout out and thank you very much to my new subscribers. I got a few more new subscribers and everything like that. And I just want to say thank you very much from my heart for subscribing to my channel. I truly appreciate that. And guys, like I said, it's just y'all already know how it is sometimes when things get ramped up with me. Sometimes it's just that I'm just all over the place with these daggone jobs, y'all. This is just a new life for me, and until I get to that day where I have more free time, then I'll be able to be present like how I really want to. But Until then, I just do my best, you guys. I do my best. But anyhow, ways, before we get to the Sister Lock stuff, I am going to go over Miss Rosa's stuff, and I did have permission from her to post her stuff. So anything that I say here is pretty much it'll be like stuff that I already talked about, because this is a very sensitive topic when you're talking about, a woman's head is her crown and glory. That is, what I'm saying. That's a very sensitive topic. So I definitely want to make sure I respect her and not offensive to her and stuff like that. So she had already gave me permission. That's why her video is on my channel and all that kind of stuff. But we're gonna definitely respect her. That's why I didn't even put her thumbnails of her in the thumbnail, because I just wanted to kind of show that respect for her and everything. And plus, she's still my client. But anyways, I'll just go ahead and start, since we're already kind of a little bit in, and then as people come in, they can just go ahead and do the replay or whatever. Okay, so Miss Rosa, I have been dealing with her for about, let me see, she's been coming to me now. It's been some months. I would say maybe 4 to 5 months, if memory serves me correctly. Hello, everybody. Welcome. If you're coming in, just say hey, guys. Hey, and thumbs up the video if you come in. Okay, guys, just do that if you come in. Say hi, y'all. Don't be shy. But anyways, I think I've seen her maybe about 5 months. So when I first saw her and saw the condition of her hair and stuff like that. I've been doing hair for a very, very long time. I've seen all sorts of people, all kind of conditions of hair has come in front of me. And I know for a fact, when I kind of see something that's just like, okay, this is something that's like way more than what my expertise can cover. Like, and whenever I see something like that, I always definitely make sure I tell that person, like, I will refer them, I will give them the recommendations that I have. And then I will tell them, like, okay, you need to seek more professional help if I see a condition that is like just beyond what I could do for them. And that's one thing that I'm really, really happy about. When I went to hair school and everything like that, we did get taught hair theory. So when we do see certain hair conditions and stuff like that, we will know if we can deal with that, or we'll know, okay, to be like, okay, we're going to advise you to do this and that. So when she did come to me and stuff, she definitely, definitely is dealing with alopecia, like in a big way. I would actually say, if you go back on my video and see Miss Rosa, like, you'll see, like, her thumbnail is there, and you'll see it's like she has an extreme case of it. She has an extreme case, and I talked to her about the situation. I talked to her even about, like, okay, um do you really want to move forward with this style? Like, for me, if I see a situation like, say, an extreme, let me just try to see, just pull this up and then show you guys what I'm talking about, okay? And then this way, like, if I see something like this is when I would suggest, like, a person really consider. Oh wow, I didn't want to. Man, okay. I guess I could just pull that back up, because I ended up, okay. Hold on. Um, Taking away the sister lock stuff that I wanted to do. Hold on. But I'll get that. Okay, guys. Let me. Okay, so, and we're talking. So, like, so say, right, like, if it's like stuff like this, right? If we're showing stuff like this, where you see these ball like patches and stuff like that, and you'll notice there are some people that will present with, like, certain areas and bald spots and stuff like that. And there's different types of alopecia. So that is one of the main things. Also, you want to make sure you know what kind of alopecia that you have. Now, if you're dealing with something like this, like, see this one here, this one. Okay, this one here. When you have a big like space, like a really really big space on your hair that you're dealing with alopecia like that, this is the type of situation where I would be like, okay, you really need to consider like having this style. Like if you want locks or braids or anything like that, if it was me, I would be like, okay, I probably wouldn't have the locks. Like that's just like my opinion, because when you're in a situation like that, that is an extreme case. Like that's a real extreme case of alopecia, which she is actually in that position, but she just really feels. So I talked to her about that. I was honest with her about that, because it's not just about like the money for me. It's like I actually care about people's hair. I have a passion of doing hair. So I definitely make sure I try to be very honest with my clients or people, anyone who comes in front of me, and let them know, like, okay, you're really taking a chance that you can make this worse. I said, but if you want to move forward, like, I'll tell everybody my honest opinions about what I feel about a situation, but then I'll just say, okay, if you want to move forward, this is what I know how to do, and this is what we can try. Okay. So basically, with her, I just told her I've been doing massage things. So when she comes, I'll do massages before we do, like, of course you're gonna wash your hair and stuff like that and before you come. And then I gave her advice to always just daily massages on your scalp. Just try to massage your scalp daily. I have done that with her hair. So every time she comes, I'll try to go ahead and massage her scalp to help stimulate growth. Now, if there's dead like cuticles, like if there's spots on it that's just never going to grow back, that means that you have like dead follicles, and that's just never going to grow back. However, even though she has like a big space that has thinned out, she has like a light fuzz of hair. So like if you brush it back, you'll see that in that space it actually still she still does have actually hair there. So I feel like as long as there's hair still growing there like that, there's a chance for it to grow back. And that's why I'm saying I recommended go to a dermatologist. So I told her, go to a dermatologist. I feel like at that point, you really need treatment. You need to be under a care of a professional person. You definitely need to be under the care, because especially if you have a hairstyle like Sisterlocks. And for one, you're definitely going to have to stretch out your retightening. So with her, I stretched her out to 8 weeks, like to the farthest that we can go. Just for that, I'm very, very gentle with her. I take my time with the retightness. I do not tighten her like all the way to that last retighten, because I don't not want to cause stress already on her hair. And for whatever reason, her hair is also in a it's just very fragile. So if you like pull just a little bit, like her hair can snap. Like it's really really in a fragile space. But she's really adamant about keeping the locks. So for what she has, she just wants to keep them. She says she wants to wear her natural hair. So I'm like, okay, so the client is always, you got to go by what the client says. You can't just like, you know what I'm saying, override what they're saying. But your job is to let them know what's going on. So aside from the massages, aside from being very gentle, stretching her out, like extending her retightening, I told her about the rosemary, like the tea, like the leaves. So I even have them myself. So I told her about drinking those teas, like the rosemary, anything that kind of helps stimulate and grow her hair back. We're doing that. And pretty much, I would say that has been really all that we have done for her hair. And as far as I know, she hasn't gone to the dermatologist to follow up with that. But of course, like I said, that is up to the person. So you can't, all I can do is just give you my advice and stuff like that. So her condition hasn't gotten any worse, but I kind of feel like her hair is still growing. It's growing like, I would say she's a slow grower, but it's still growing. So have she made any like super big strides? No, not really. The only other thing you can do is just keep hydrated. I told her make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Always make sure you're doing that because that's going to also be good. And then it's also going to depend on what you're putting in your body. And I would just say to a person too, just make sure you're eating like healthier foods, like really, especially as we're getting older too, especially when you're older, and your hair is going to start thinning a little bit when you're older anyway. So the best thing you can do is make sure, and nobody's going to be perfect. Let's be clear, because I'm talking to myself just as much as I'm talking to y'all. It's a struggle, and I'm telling you, it's a struggle. If you've been eating a certain way for years, it's going to take time for you to switch that up. But guys, look, is you know what I'm saying? That's just it's really, really Sister Knots. Hey, welcome, Sister Knots. Welcome. Okay, message retracted. Okay, but anyways, so with her, like I said, and as I just saw, like, of course, keeping your bonnets on, keeping your hair wrapped, and then do not do type of styles with your hair. Okay. Hi, Kathy, Scott. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Hey guys, when you come in, thumbs up, y'all. Help us out so we can kind of spread this out over the internet. Okay, guys. But anyways, I just try everything that I've learned over the years. I just try to tell my clients that as best as I can. And then I also have other. Now, I would say her, Miss Rosa, is the most like extreme case I have of clients that have alopecia. But however, I do have some other clients that might be dealing with like some areas in their hair system. Hello, does she get protein treatments? Okay, I know, Kathy, you did catch me. All is well on this end. Great. Good to hear it. I'll be so happy when y'all are able to catch me. Now, okay, I did, Sister Knots, when you said the protein treatments, I did do a protein treatment with her. What we did do was now, okay, so this is the thing. I did a henna with her. Now I do natural hennas. This is what I use on my hair. As I don't know, as you guys can tell, y'all see this little redness here. I just actually did a henna with my hair when I feel like my hair needs to be a little bit strengthened, because sometimes I feel like I can tell when my locks feel a certain way. I'm doing a braid out, guys. I had these in for a couple of days just rocking this because I'm going to do a braid out tomorrow. But when the protein, you're on a good track when it comes to that, because I did say that to her because her hair was very fragile, and I told her you need a strengthener, you need to get some protein in your hair to strengthen your hair. So, but the issue was I used to do a two-step process. Whereas this one, usually I do this and then I do the black. So I did the henna on her hair, but she didn't like the black because she said she likes her hair to be like a light color. That's another thing too. She she likes her hair colored, and so I tried to tell her that too. Like, look, like that's only gonna dry it out. That's not gonna be good for your hair. But she like, so we did that once, and there's other things too, but this is the thing. When I was a hairdresser and doing things, when I used to do relaxers and I used to do roller sets and all those different type of stuff, I used to have all of my hair products and stuff like the protein treatments, like protein packs and this and that. And let me know if any of y'all remember Afro G. Remember when we used to do, or I don't know if you guys remember, but Afro G, when you would put that strengthener solution on your hair and you set under the dry and it gets really, really hard, and then you rinse it out, that was like to help strengthen your hair. But the thing is because I'm doing locks now and doing sister locks and all that kind of stuff, I didn't have all that kind of stuff around here at the house because I wasn't using that. Like I wasn't using that because I wasn't doing a lot of those services. Okay, yeah. I wasn't doing all those services like how I used to, like in the beginning when I was in hair school and then when I worked in the salons. So I wasn't doing all that kind of stuff. So, and plus, most of the people here didn't need, like, most of my clients don't need like that service like that. So I didn't have all those things around. So with her, this is like an ongoing kind of thing, like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? But that is a good point to do protein treatments because the protein will strengthen. But you have to also be careful with protein. You got to make sure you're not over processing a person's hair with protein. It's a balance with that. You actually want to do a protein on someone's hair, but then you also want to balance that out with a moisturizer as well. So it's like when you start using protein, because if your hair gets too hard, because remember, protein will can dry, like kind of make your hair kind of brittle too. And if you over process it with protein, you can snap your hair actually if you do too much protein. So with protein, it's a balance, like, you know what I mean? Like, so with me, like, say for instance, myself, I just put a henna. I try to do maybe like a protein henna maybe like a month and a half, like every 6 weeks or so, maybe 2 months, every 6 weeks. But then after I do a deep protein, my hair feels a little dry. So I gotta go back and on top of that with a mask. I'll do a moisturizing mask to balance that out. And then I noticed that I have a lot more manageability with my hair when you balance that. So you just want to remember, if you're going to be using proteins, make sure you're balancing that with a moisturizer as well. That's going to be helpful to you. And with the others, like other people, theirs is not as, drastic to the extreme as her. So what I just do with them, with their retightening, just like with myself, I just be very gentle in certain areas. So they may not have that in all the areas of their hair, but in the areas where it is a little bit fragile, whatever, I'm just like being very, very um, careful with them, being very mindful of those areas and stuff like that, and telling them pretty much the same things like, hey, just go ahead and massage your scalp, make sure you're trying to stimulate that. And use good shampoos too, because they have like the shampoos like your rosemary mints, like lemon balms, like just different things, peppermint, like all those different type of things to help kind of stimulate. And in the summertime, guys, remember there's spritz you can do, like tea tree, peppermint spritz, rosemary spritz, like, so all those kind of things that will refreshen your scalp as well as stimulate it, get that stimulation going. And I'm starting to drink my rosemary teas all the time too. Let me show y'all my bag, okay? What this is just, and then also too, I got this other stuff with these black organic sesame seeds. I've been taking in the morning, like one little teaspoon of those, and we'll see how that works. Hold on, y'all. So I've been having my rosemary tea, guys. And I need to put. I still need to. This gets on my nerves. I still haven't like attached my Amazon store. It smells good, y'all. And then what I heard from a dermatologist, they said it's better to go ahead and make a tea of this. I've been using a good amount of this, y'all, because sometimes what I'll do, not only do I drink it as a tea, I use it as a spritz too. So I do my little spritzes in the morning, and since this is rosemary, this is good. I've been doing it, and it tastes good too. I don't even add any type of sweetener with my teas and stuff. I'm getting, how does rosemary tea taste? Actually, it's good. That's what I was just saying, Kathy. It actually, because it's fragrant, it's like, let me see something. Let me get it's like, it tastes like a light, like a pepperminty, like it's actually a mild flavor. So to be honest, but I like tea. I'm a big tea drinker. Just think about, like, say if you go to the Asian restaurants, right? And you see how they give you those teas, like, they make teas for you and stuff like that, and they don't even add any sugar in it. To me, it tastes kind of like, if you're kind of like familiar with those kind of teas like that, the kind they just give you at Asian restaurants, that's what that tastes like to me. But it has like a mild, I don't know about other brands. I can only vouch for this one. It's a very mild type of taste. It's very mild, but it's good. Like you won't miss the sugar unless you're really a type of person that really gotta have some sweeten it up or whatever. And if anything, maybe like a teaspoon of honey or like stevia, something like that. But you don't really need to. I don't add any sweeteners to mine. I don't add any sweetener. And then this, but this was a recommendation. I can't say 100% about this. The black, organic black sesame seeds, raw, unrefined. And then literally just, I take a teaspoon, put it in my mouth and just chew it up. It's like a very nutty kind of taste as you're like, it's like a nutty type of flavor. Um, and this is supposed to, let me see what it says. Okay, strive to offer. Let's see, what does this do? Flavor that put a smile on your face. Wait a minute. Seeds, organic, are nut spreads, seeds, spices, and specialty products provide essential nutrients and a burst of flavor that will put a smile on your face. Let me see. Well, it doesn't say here like exactly all of the benefits of it, but look it up with these seeds because the person that I ended up getting recommended with this by, she was saying a lot, and she does have a head full of healthy hair. The girl, she said this helps with hair growth. And to be honest with you guys, I actually forgot, but I can see on my phone what is the benefits of black sesame seeds. Let me pull that up real quick. What are the benefits of sesame sesame seeds? Wait a minute. Wait, the black sesame, organic black, because okay, of black sesame seeds, because all of them are not the same. Okay, so it says black sesame seeds offer numerous health benefits, including improved digestion, bone health. Oh, okay, okay. So it says bone health, skin and hair health, and potentially reducing the risk of heart disease and certain cancers due to their high content of fiber, antioxidants, and essential nutrients. Now, I don't know, all about like, cancers and reducing all that other kind of stuff, but it is saying about hair, skin and hair health, y'all. I'm taking it. It can't hurt. I can see you smiling and chewing. I can. How can you see me smiling and chewing? Let me see. Rosemary spritz for your hair. Yes. Okay. You said Sisterlocks, rosemary spritz for your hair. Yes. You can do a rosemary spritz for your hair. All you have to do, Kathy, you got me with that one, girl. Anyways, with this, you can, well, how you make a spritz is what I do for mine is I boil the tea. I have a steeper because it's not in a bag like your regular tea bags. Okay, that's what they supposed to make you do smile. Okay, okay, okay. Well, they taste good to me, so I'll say that. But Sister Knox, so with the spritz, what I do with mine, I boil the tea and then I let it cool all the way down, of course. And then I'll take with mine, I'll also add a couple of drops of tea tree oil because the tea tree oil is good. It's an antifungal, you know what I mean, for your scalp. So also too, it'll keep the tea stabilized for a longer time. So that way you can, just spritz it in the morning. And usually sometimes what I'll do to make it last a little bit longer, I'll go ahead and put mine in the refrigerator. And also, guys, use whenever you make a spritz. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little another little pro tip, guys. Make sure you use dark glasses. Use your containers. First of all, use glass. Glass is going to be good to use because that is going to make that last longer. And then also make sure you are using dark amber glass. Okay, and I'm gonna show y'all an example. As a matter of fact, I gotta buy me some more small ones because I used to have, I don't know what happened to all my daggone small amber glasses. I still have some of the big ones. I still have some of my big ones, but I don't know where I got. I'm gonna go again and get me some more. I am calling tomorrow. I'm gonna actually look at it tonight and try to figure out to see how I can get the link to my storefront, or I'm gonna have to call them again tomorrow. I had an issue with my email because I was telling them to send me the link so that I can send you guys the link. So when I have stuff to order, y'all can order from my storefront, and I'm gonna just pull up all the things that I order, and then you guys can order from my storefront from the link. But I have to. I'm gonna call them again tomorrow. I could have been got it to y'all, but they was telling me I had to wait for my email to change over because it was like a process I had to do with switching my email because they had the wrong email for me or whatever like that. But anyways, I want to get that because I have so many products that, and then y'all gonna help a sister out, okay? By that gonna clicking on my link. Hold on a minute, y'all. So y'all make sure y'all use these. I got my flowers. I'm showing y'all how I dry my flowers, y'all. These, see, I use these jars, but this is for also, this is multi-purposes too. I either have this one, this dark, like kind of pretty brownish amber color, and then I also use the dark blue one. The blue ones are real pretty too. The blue ones are real cute too. So I use both of those. And I just think over the years, I had them for a long time. So I don't know where all my small spray bottles, because I had a bunch of nice little spray bottles. So when you want to do your spritzes and different things like that, it's great to use these amber colored bottles because it's going to make it last longer, especially when you're using essential oils. If you use it in the light jars, the clear jars, like our clear jars like these, it gets exposed to the sun, so it's not going to, the potency of your essential oils is going to wane way more quicker, guys. And with me, I got my little, I'm drying some flowers, guys. I ended up getting me some flowers that are, and with me, I am a flower lover, y'all. I love me some flowers, right? But what happens is, your girl is allergic to bees. I am highly allergic to bees. Hold on. I'm just putting them right there real quick. I'm allergic to bees, y'all. Hold on a minute. So I finally went and got me an EpiPen, y'all. Y'all don't want to see your girl when she gets stung, honey. I had got stung twice in my life, like on my thumb, and then it was like, whew, it was like somebody took a pump and just blew up my hand. It was like two big. Oh my God, it was crazy. But I love flowers. Like when I say love, 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 child, I love me some flowers. But so what I found is that even if people give me flowers or whatever, I would love to put them all out on my balcony and stuff like that. But that doesn't work for me because it attracts the bees and all of those kind of things, and that doesn't work. So I found that drying out flowers for me. So if someone gives them to me, I'll still buy them and keep them in the house, but then I dry them out, and I found that I love dried out flowers. So that was a little side note. No, went off the ground. Okay, y'all. But anyway, so before we talk about the Sisterlock update, I finished up like my retightening. I had to get my retightening together too. And in between stuff, y'all, I still be doing clients. I literally had a client today. So sometimes actually between the jobs that I have, which are three, y'all, I work three part-time jobs where I'm at. So I be all over the place. And then just the fact that I still be like coming here, y'all, that means I love y'all. Okay. I love y'all. And I want to still be involved and, catch up with you guys. But and my schedule fluctuates, especially one of my jobs. Sometimes I have a morning schedule, then I might have a afternoon schedule, and then I might have a thanks for the love, guys, thanks for the hearts. And as a matter of fact, y'all drop me some flowers. Just I love flowers, y'all. Y'all drop me some flowers. Drop me flowers, y'all. That's y'all way of giving me my flowers now, child. Y'all can drop me some flowers. Um, but anyways, and then sometimes I have a night schedule, so sometimes I don't get off until like 8 o'clock at night, y'all. And then on Sundays, you would think, even with Sundays, I still have clients. Like I literally had a client today that left at like 3 o'clock. Like so, I had a morning client that didn't get out of here till like 3. So I'm always doing stuff, and then sometimes I have to. Sometimes I have to. Um, I just had a brain fart. But I have to kind of thanks for the flower. Roses is one of my favorite flowers. Roses and stargaze lilies. Thank you, Carolyn. I guess you the only one in here that's my friend. I can't get no more flowers from nobody else. Good God, y'all are stingy. Okay, I guess Carolyn's my only girl in here. Okay. All right. I know y'all can do better than that. I know somebody else can give me some flowers too. Good Lord. Dag y'all, that's free. But anyways, let me put okay, y'all, let me give y'all so basically, anyways, what I did was I did the I finished up my retightening, and what I try to do is, if I know that I'm going to retighten my hair and I want to do a henna in my hair, I'll go ahead and just henna it. And one thing that people need to kind of know too, is when you do a henna, it actually sometimes you got to be careful because a henna will loosen up your hair sometimes. Sometimes it has the effect like that on a person's hair. So say if you're like, okay, I want to be like Miss Lock Lady and go ahead and do everything natural and start to do the hennas too. For one, make sure you're sourcing it from a reputable place because all hennas are not created equal. Some hennas have metallics in them. So you want to make sure you're not dealing with a henna that has a metallic in it. Okay, because it can do funny things like to your hair. It's just not healthy for your scalp, for one. And then also two, it can, for whatever reason, and especially if your textures are a little like looser or finer or curly or whatever that is, it can kind of stretch. So what I do is, because my hair is like in a finer state too, so what I do is I'll henna my hair before I retighten in my hair, but so that if it loosens up any way, I'll just go ahead and do it, go ahead and retighten it afterwards. So that's the way I end up doing mine, as opposed to retightening my hair, then doing the henna on top of it. Because once you do all that work, you don't want to put it in and potentially like loosen up your retightening. Okay, so that's another thing that I do. Okay. And does anyone else, let me ask, is anyone else coloring your hair? Are any of your locks colored? Are you all just having your locks? Is it just in your natural hair color, or are any of my sister rocking they silver or anything like that? Y'all remember, thumbs up, so we can get this video circulating out here so more people can come and get the information. You color, so Carolyn, you color what color do you have in yours? What color are you using? Is it black, or you got like some other color? Do you do something, or any of you guys wearing a lighter color for spring and summer? Do you go light? Because if you do, I want to know if you guys are doing if you're like lifting your hair. Are any of you guys using bleach on your locks? Salt and pepper will be me, Kathy. Yep, salt and pepper will be you. Yeah, so that means that you're just going ahead and doing yours naturally. You're just gonna go ahead and however your silver starts to come out, you're just gonna rock it like that. And also, Kathy, since you are gonna go Okay, okay, that's cool. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. There's a because what happens with me, because in between times when because to be honest, you got to think about it. Your hair every month, your hair is growing a half an inch. Every 2 weeks, my silver starts to come through. Like because I don't have like a whole bunch, but it definitely hits me all around the perimeter of mine. It's burgundy, no bleach deposit color. I go to a colorist. Okay, great, great. Kathy, that's the best way to do it. And I try to tell people that too. If you're gonna color your hair and stuff like that, go to a professional. Like just if you don't have the knowledge or whatever, and even if you do have the knowledge, it's just still best to just go to a professional, have them do it because if anything goes wrong, then you can always go back to them and they'll have to correct it or whatever. So that's the best thing to do. I will go ahead and continue to do that. That's good. And burgundy, when I was younger, that was one of my colors too. I used to love me some burgundy color. My favorite colors to use. These are my favorite colors in my hair, like just throughout. Um, uh, Auburn. When I first, the first color I ever got in my hair was the auburn, like that reddish brown auburn hair color. Oh man, that was my jam. I used to love auburn. So I used to wear auburn hair color. I used to wear burgundy. Burgundy was one of my colors too. Auburn, burgundy, and then I got into, I never actually colored my hair copper, but I used to love the spray, the temporary color copper. Okay, so Sister Knot says, actually, I use a coffee rinse sometimes for a temporary tint. I won't be dyeing my hair again. Okay, you know what? A coffee rinse. You know what? I heard of coffee rinses before, but also too, a coffee rinse is good for. That's another thing that's very good for stimulating your scalp too. You just hit me in the head. There's so much that I learned over the years that I've done and then forgot. I forgot about the coffee rinse. The coffee, especially if you use it with caffeine, that is a very good stimulant for. They said hair growth too is those coffee rinses. So that's good. But I didn't know about the tint. I didn't know about that. I didn't know that the coffee gives you a little bit of a tint. Another thing that gives you a tint is if you use lemon juice on your hair and go in the sun. Like over time, just put lemon juice, just regular lemon juice on your hair because at the bottoms of my hair, the sun has light. And this guy, I want to just go back to Kathy. Kathy, if you are gonna go with the salt and pepper, one of your connection is unstable. Please. Oh, okay. They're saying my connection is unstable. Hopefully, if you do go with the salt and pepper, make sure you use a shampoo like Shimmering Lights. Let me show. Let me see. I'm gonna use this shampoo so that your silver, if it ever comes with any yellowish in there, um, this is gonna make sure that silver is as shiny as possible. So you're gonna be looking like a silver fox out here. Hold on. This is what I'm doing with one of my other clients. If y'all see in my old video, my retightening videos on the channel, with Matty the Silver Fox, this is what I do with her. And listen, this is very economical to just go ahead and get your Suave clarifying shampoo. And then use this Kathy Shimmer Lights Blonde Toning Shampoo. This one is by Clairol. Um, but you don't because Miss Clairol can be a little bit, I won't say super high, but like kind of on the higher side. But make sure you get the shimmering lights. If you're gonna go with wearing your hair like salt and pepper, you want that silver to look as nice as possible. So make sure you're also going behind with a nice shampoo like this, and that's gonna just make your gray pop. That's gonna make that look beautiful. So I would just remember to kind of go with that if you don't already know that. Okay. Okay. So Carolyn said, okay, so Burgundy, so actually, okay, the coffee thing. And y'all remember that if y'all don't have, if like what Sister Knot said with that coffee rinse, guys, that's another thing. If you're dealing with a little bit of thinning and stuff, try that coffee rinse. Now, she also said something about giving a little tint. I don't know about that. I never tried that, but but I do remember it being a stimulant, but you got to make sure it's the coffee with caffeine in it, not decaffeinated, but the one with caffeine, because it's the caffeine that's going to give the stimulation. Your granddaughter, Carolyn Shepherd, said, my granddaughter has that color. What color are you talking about? The copper? Or does she, or the auburn? Is it the auburn like I'm talking about, or the copper? Kathy Scott said, I want to color, but I'm 67. Yes, and everyone says it looks good. I wanted to color, but I'm 67. So Kathy, so Kathy, you are the salt and pepper. Okay, so remember, Kathy, and God bless you, honey. I wish these days is great to get up into those ages and still be healthy. Getting out here online, I am happy to have you here with us. Make sure, Kathy, to try adding shimmering lights. If you don't already have it, try adding shimmering lights. Okay. That's my natural color. Okay, so that's your natural color. Okay, okay. But that's good. Okay, yeah, but like I said, just remember the shimmering lights. Caffeine is a good stimulant. I wash it off my scalp because it can be drying. I tend to overdo things, Sister Knots. Okay. I understand. I understand. And another thing that I'm thinking about too, like when you're talking about the because we do know coffee is a stimulant. We know that. But also too, what we put on goes in, guys. And that's another thing. Be careful with that, y'all, because I'm thinking about that. Coffee is does have that caffeine, so you want to make sure you're not putting too much. Yeah, you definitely want to fall back. Don't do that too much, because you got to remember, although because in order for it to work, you would need the one that have caffeine in it, but you don't want to put too much caffeine in your body, guys, because that is going to go into your scalp. So we got to remember that anything you put on us go inside us as well. So you definitely want to kind of keep it cool with that caffeine, y'all. So let me just put that out there too. And the copper, yes, Carolyn Shepherd, you said your granddaughter does the copper. That is very nice. The copper is a nice color. I love that. I didn't, but the only reason how come I didn't permanently do like copper on my hair is because I would have had to lift it. I would have had to use bleach to lift my hair, and especially at this point and at this age, at this stage in the game, guys, I am a big old 54, y'all. I'm 54 years old, and as I'm getting older, I'm just getting a little bit wiser too with my hair choices and different things. I'm trying to hold on, and I'm thankful and grateful. Like, even though, like I said, be thankful and grateful for what you have, guys, what you still have, because even though it ain't perfect for me, I still deal with issues with my hair and stuff like that. But I'm thankful to God that I even have this hair on my head, because I am telling you, it is a blessing with the thin. I don't even care with the thinning and everything, because the stuff I did to my hair, all the stuff that I have done, like y'all have. Y'all have no idea all the stuff. Like being in hair school and everything, I've done it all. When I say I've done it all, I have done it all. So Kathy Scott says, yes, I will start using that. Good, Kathy, because I'm seeing some of the grays on some lady that is looking dirty. Yes. So so what it is that it's so what it is I guess you could say it that way, but what it is that yellowish tint. That yellowish, it looks it can come off as looking kind of dingy, and it's not. It's just say it is not showcasing the gray in a way that it can be showcased. Like, because gray can look beautiful. Like, I see some people with grays that, like, I'm telling you, it looks great on them. But I know for a fact they're taking care of it. I know they're using shampoos. And those people, sometimes they don't understand what's out there for them, and they don't know what to use. So that's why sometimes when I see people, or like, I'll just tell them, like, hey, you could actually use this. You could make that look really good. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So really, when you see a lot of people like that, they just don't understand what to use. They don't know what's out there, they don't know the first thing to go buy. So that's why I'm telling you that. Go make sure you get that so you can keep your gray on point and you don't got to worry about that. Okay, so Carolyn Shepherd says it's pretty on her skin. I told her about the bleach. She has high density hair, long and a lot. Yes, yes. Copper is a beautiful color. My daughter colored hers ginger. Ginger's another pretty color too. So she does if she was on here today, her little thumbnail, y'all could have hit it, but she's not on here tonight. Ginger snap. If y'all see ginger snap, that's my daughter. And then she colored her hair a ginger color and it looks so pretty. It really does look nice. Oh, Kathy, I love your hair. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. And says, yes, I've seen beautiful gray. Yes, I'm telling you, like gray can look gray can look amazing. I'm telling you right now, gray can look amazing. And even though I have started, I need a new chair. My chair keep going down. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, the way that my gray is set up right now, I wouldn't wear it like with the grain now because it's not like enough in like, and even in the way that it's growing, it's not like in the way that I feel like is appealing. Like, so say if I had like if I had like a patch or like some kind of something that looked kind of stylish, like if it was like maybe even like a patch like that or something. I don't know, maybe I would wear that, but I kind of feel like if I get to the point where it gets to, as I get more, mature and it grays, like, with God grace, if you let me live to see it many more years, um, I'm definitely gonna embrace my grades when they come in because I already know what I'm gonna use. I already know the products I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna definitely make sure that it's gonna be looking the healthiest that it can. And I know, as a matter of fact, my younger sister, she started graying early, like because you'll get some people that gray early. She was one of them types that just grayed early, and she's done a lot of different things too that make it really look nice. And that's another trick too, like not a trick, but that's another way of also coloring your hair. I feel what you are saying. Yes. Another thing is that's another way of using color without lifting, guys. So look at it that way. Look at all the benefits of everything that your hair goes through, right? So even if you going through the phase of grand, say if you're like people are like, oh my God, I got so much grand. Now you can go ahead and still rock your salt and pepper. You can still do all that. But if you decide you want to like, let me just try a new color for a season or a summer, or let me do something, you can throw it on that gray and it's gonna, so the gray is like having an automatic lift because that color is gonna pick up everything. So whatever you put on you're going to get that color. So that's another thing that's a nice thing about actually having gray hair because you can experiment with all kinds of different colors, like and put on your hair and do so. So who says you can't? Those are your times to be unique. You can always still go back to doing your grays and all that stuff, because trust me, that's gonna always come back in. But you can also experiment. So I think that's a wonderful thing to do. If you have your grades and you want to do that, if you like me and you want to experiment, because God knows I done did it all. I'm telling you, that's why I'm saying today I'm so thankful. And I'm like, let me just go natural and do natural things, because I have done so much to my hair that I'm just so thankful to God that I haven't still, because Lord knows my poor tresses have done it all to it. So I'm just thankful that God saw fit to keep some on my head. But anyway, so we are going to now, guys, we're gonna go ahead and so it doesn't seem like too many of you guys have done a lot of color. Some of you have, some of you like, we gonna just rock that black and pepper, just do all those things to make that pop. So it's a little something for everybody. So whether you're coloring or whether you're rocking your salt and pepper, there is something for all of us. So it's all good. It really is. Okay. So now the update on Sisterlocks XL. So it says, so it's going to run. Okay, Sister Locks offers several blended consultant training classes in 2025 with dates and locations varying. These classes combined online coursework within person training sessions. Okay, so the one class is going to run from April the 21st of this year, which is this month actually. So that's going to be coming up what, next week? So April 21st to May 19th. So this is their first class that they're rolling out, April 21st to May 19th. And so online with in-person training in Toledo, Ohio. So this one's going to be in Toledo, Ohio, which is okay. That's kind of, okay. I was about to say strange, but I'm like, I would have thought, I don't know. I don't know why I was thinking it probably was going to be somewhere else, but I guess Toledo's going to be where it's going to be rolled out. A class is also scheduled from May 5th to June 1st online with in-person training in Hampton, Virginia. So here's a breakdown of available classes. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. They got a breakdown. So, okay. So online in Charlotte. So Charlotte, oh, that is not far from here. So Charlotte, okay, wait a minute. Carolyn said if I don't color my hair, it probably would be totally white. My dad, when he finally went gray, it was completely white and curly. He hated his gray hair. My mother was like that. She couldn't stand her gray hair either. My mother colored her hair all the time, all the way until she went on to the other realm. She never liked it. Like no matter what, my mother just did not like gray hair. She was like that. Okay, if you wanted the bigger sister locks, will the small sister locks be combined? Um, Hold on, we're gonna get to that. Hold on. So okay, so Charlotte. So okay, so they're gonna be having a class in Charlotte, Toledo, Ohio, Birmingham, Alabama, Dallas, Texas, Kansas, Missouri, Hampton, Virginia, Plymouth. Is this Miami? I think it's Plymouth. Is that Missouri or Miami? Okay, Miami. I think Plymouth. I never heard of Plymouth, so I'm not sure if that's Plymouth, Missouri or Miami. And then Toronto. So in Canada, they're gonna be doing in Canada too. So okay, so they rolling out a few places. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So it's gonna be rolled out in 8 states. Okay, so they're gonna we'll see. So all of it is a variation between this month and June. Because um okay, yeah, so in Toronto it'll be from May to June 15th. Okay, so it's gonna be between April and June. So that's what they're doing. So it's rolling out now, guys. This month it's gonna be, and so I'm thinking about it too. Now I'm thinking about it too, but I am gonna look into doing it. Well, let me see. I have to think about what I'm going to do in terms of what I'm doing with hair because I'm trying to determine whether I'm going to make this more of a long-term retirement thing or not because that wasn't what my initial plan was prior to me relocating here. So I'm going to see about that and I'm going to determine. I have some other previous things that I have to get completed. There's some other things that I have to complete before I can even look into that. So it'll be I'll let you guys know whether I do it or not, but if I do it, it'll be based on what I plan to do with hair. So I'm just gonna see. I'm not fully sure about what I'm gonna do yet. So, but in immediate time right now, I'm not going to take the class. However, I will keep up with the updates of what's going on with it. But as far as will you combine, now that's the thing I'm thinking about if you already have Sister Locks and you're like, okay, let me combine it and then I'll have Sister Locks XL. I don't think that's how that's gonna work because it's not going to work in that way, because when they teach that, they're going to probably do a certain size. I think it's going to be another size above the largest sister locks in the system that they have currently. So it'll be like a lock bigger than all of the ones that we have now, but it's definitely still going to be smaller than like maybe a micro lock, and that's going to be a completely different size. So even if you combine your locks, if you combine the ones you got, it's not going to coincide with whatever that new lock is going to be. And then also too, is not going to start out on the grid like how like someone would do it and then do it in that kind of way. So it would have to, it's not going to work, because of the sizes of what's already in there. It's not going to coincide with what they're going to roll out. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to coincide with that. So okay, so if you wanted to bigger locks with a smaller locks be combined, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Carolyn. Yeah, so that's not going to work. It's not going to work that way. Um, the only way a person now, I mean, I've been combining. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it won't work that way, because you'll have to start out with that, and then what people already have in their sister locks, especially if you already have gone to different people and you've been combining your own way. Some people might not have even been combining them right, or all of that kind of stuff. Because I've seen a little bit of everything. Like I've seen people that have come and it's just like it's like okay, like it's not even just kind of in line with it. You would have to completely just take these out, and which wouldn't make no sense to do that. Like at this point with me, I've known some people like for different reasons, different people do different things. Like I've known some people like who had yeah, oh yeah, no, that's fine, that's fine. I've seen some people who had hair conditions, like someone who had extreme eczema, right? Where all over their skin and their scalp, with their scalp, which caused them a whole lot of dryness, which caused their hair to fall out in patches in a lot of ways. And then they had the sister lock style, but they had to take it out, and then ended up getting their sister locks again. This doesn't have to do with the XL, but like I've seen people who have redone them and all this other kind of stuff. And right now with me, I think what I like, I'm combining mine now because of the fact of how small some of my locks were. Um, but it'll never be considered like the XL. Like it's not going to be considered the XL sister locks, but because the size of the locks, even though I'm combining them, it's still within the sister lock sizing, because my locks were so small that I'm still within that, but they probably still wouldn't consider that like the XL size. Like, you know what I mean? I would have to like completely take these out, do them over if I wanted that, but I wouldn't do that. Like at this point with me, this is just what it is for me. Like no matter what, and that's the and that's something that I would think about. Like if something happened and I had to somehow take these out, I kind of like wonder. I'm not sure. I never even thought about that. Would I put some socks back in my hair? I don't know. I don't even know. I never even thought about that. Like, I kind of like, especially like where I'm at with my age and all that other kind of stuff, I kind of just looking at it like, if it kind of didn't work out at this point, I wonder, I'm not sure about that. I wonder if I would like try to do it again, or if I would just be like, you know what? I don't know. Am I just gonna go ahead and do it short, and just do a color and just leave it natural out? Because one thing I know for sure is I'm not going back to chemicals. That's for sure. Like I definitely wouldn't do chemicals again. I would definitely just um, wear my hair just probably out. shortcut. I might actually try something. I always kind in my mind, I kind of was thinking like, oh, okay, if I got to that point, I kind of want to try a funky style. Sometimes I'll be seeing some older women with their little cute little funky little hairstyles where they'll have one side shaved down and then have like, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So if you guys, so say, let me just ask this question, and I'm not trying to just put it out there like, oh, y'all ain't gonna have y'all sister locks. But if you didn't have locks or sister locks, what would you do, like? What, or okay, do you all feel like you're gonna have them forever? Do you feel like from this point on, like you just gonna be wearing sister locks, or do you feel like that's a question? Or do you feel like you're going to get to a point where you're just going to be like, I'm not doing this no more. I'm going to wear my hair like what? Like, how many of you guys would just like, how long are you prepared to wear it? Do you plan on wearing it just from here to when the good Lord say it's time to come home? What are y'all gonna do? What are your ideas? What are your goals for this style? Okay, Kathy says I'm 2 years and I was thinking I was going to go out like this. Okay, okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I was just kind of thinking because in my mind too, okay, yeah, Carolyn said, oh, Kathy said that. Kathy Scott said 2 years, and she was going to go out like that. Sorry, I was saying Carolyn, but that was Kathy said that. But Carolyn said, at my age, I will wear my sister locks until God take me away. Yep, yep. Okay, okay. I hear you. I hear you. I'm thinking in my mind too. I was like saying, okay. I was all like, if I get to a point where when do I feel like I'll do away? At this point in my life, I'm so kind of used to my locks, and I'm just so used to them because now this September, when September comes, I will have my locks 9 years, guys. Like I'm almost at my 10 years. Next year I will have had my locks 10 years. I can't believe it. Like I've been wearing one style because I was always the girl that, and people are shocked with me just having this one style for so long because I was always the change up girl. Like I always had a different style in my head, but it kind of went with how I was. I was always the hairstylist, this and that. So it wasn't like people weren't surprised when they saw me with a different hairstyle. But I guess for myself, I'm surprised that I wore this style for so long. But to be honest, it really was like like it was like this to me, this style was a blessing because, excuse me, guys, this was just such a blessing because I was like, all I was looking for is something convenient, something that looked good, something that I could be like, wow, it was low maintenance, and that our hair can flourish in a healthy state. And this style actually does that. Is Sister Locks perfect? No, it is not. Just like anything, it's not a perfect style, but it is the perfect style. Perfect. It is the perfect and perfectly styled for me. So that's the way I'll say it. And it has its ebbs and flows. And like how they say, it's a journey. It really, truly is a journey. But when I just think about everything that I have done to get here, I'm thankful and grateful of where I am. And when I think, and I just want, and what I say to people, right? Even if you're like loose naturals, because everybody on my channel is not locked up, because I personally, some of the people that are here that see me at my job, I had like some of my subscribers literally know me from my job here where I work. They come by and they see me because I work in a very public place in the library. So some of them I see and stuff like that, and they have beautiful loose natural hair, and some of them have subscribed to my channel and all that kind of stuff. So there's all kind of different things that you can do, and it's all about just having your hair natural. Because before I got locks, I was a loose natural for 10 years. I wore my hair out natural literally before I did anything on my hair. For 10 whole years I did with my natural hair. Sometimes I had it short cut. I would do my little put little things, wear a little curly a little bit, or sometimes I would just do different things, do the high puffs, there was all kind of different little styles. I wish I ended up transferring a lot of my pictures on here, but I want to do a thing. I'm gonna try to do a thing where I can do old collage. That's what I'm gonna do for y'all. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to find like I'm gonna go through because I ended up putting a lot of I had bought me this external drive, and I ended up transferring a lot of my pictures on here, a lot of my old pictures and everything too. And I gotta make sure I did everything correctly, y'all, because I'm trying my best to get more and more savvy with this computer stuff, y'all. I'm learning. I'm not where I would like to be, but I'm learning little by little. But I would like to put together some things like that too, like because pre sister locks and then post sister locks and all that kind of stuff and all the stages which y'all already seen on my channel anyways, like from my hair being like this short to it kind of progressing and stuff like that. But there's a big gap between my first year and that fifth year because I ended up not even posting for like 5 years on the channel because I didn't even know what what YouTube really was when I first made a video. I thought only I could see that, and I initially had made this channel just to follow my own journey. So this wasn't even meant for me to kind of put it out to the public. I didn't even know what YouTube was like that in the beginning. I just was like, oh, I can make a video. Oh my God. And it wasn't until someone said, oh, I like your locks. And I'm like, can somebody see me? I was like, oh my God. I was so daggone shy at that time, y'all. I didn't get back on the damn thing till 5 years later. And that was because somebody like 5 years, and that was my UK girl, for lock's sakes. And I wish I could catch her. That was my UK, one of the lock styles from the UK. She was like, she had commented and then she had said something about don't let us have to wait another 5 years before you put out another video. And then that's what actually got me back started into making these videos, guys. So thank you for lock's sakes. If you happen to see this again, if you watching this, girl, I have to thank you for me getting started and on these videos again and putting all this other kind of stuff out. And I'm really glad you were the catalyst that got me back started. But I'm really glad that I was able to do this because, I really do have a lot of knowledge and stuff that I learned over the years that is very helpful, that can really help people and all this other kind of stuff. And I really be giving back and doing all these different things. And I wish that I had those videos when I was like kind of starting my journey and different things. And there was some people, so I'm not gonna even say that there wasn't people that I watched because there were some people that was very knowledgeable, like PR Charles. Like if any of you want to see some women with beautiful long sister locks, to look up this lady called PR Charles, like CHARLES, PR Charles. And she, like, this woman has sister locks down. They probably passed her, but I don't know what she's doing. As a matter of fact, that makes me want to actually go look her up and see what she's doing. Let me see real quick, see if she's still doing her sister lock videos or whatever. But I'm telling you, she used to be what I would call she was my hair crush. And like my sister lock hair crush used to be this lady, PR Charles. And I was like, oh my God. And I had got so into her channel that I wanted to even go to New York and get a retightening from her, girl. I was really tripping. Um, but I didn't go that far, but I definitely did used to keep up with her and stuff like that. And she's very, very, very knowledgeable, this lady. But this was back in the day, guys. Let me see something. This lady right here, PR Charles. Look at her hair. Look at her hair. Beautiful. And I think she's been in the game. She has been in the game, I believe. Shit, she might maybe 20 years now, because when I was and she has a bunch of videos on hers too. She has 189 videos on her channel. And she has a lot of information on hers, and a lift check. I don't know if she will have cut hers by now or whatever. I don't know, but the best length for your hair. Let me see if she's doing the Hi guys. See. Question of the day is, look at how long her hair is. This is the right time to cut your hair. See? Some of us get a deep urge to cut our hair. And it's amazing after you've grown it so long, you were pining for that length. So, and that's another thing. I don't hate. I congratulate and appreciate. So, I also share. If it's somebody else who, so she was, and that was when my hair was like this. And I used to watch her channel, and that kept me going. Like, and I felt like a lot of people, because a lot of people be like, "Oh my God, my hair's not gonna grow. My hair is never gonna be that long, or whatever like that." And she used to be, her, and then there was like a couple of other people that I used to watch, and it just was like unbelievable, because I just was like thinking like, "Oh, that's just never gonna happen for me." Like, it was like, I don't want to say, I didn't say it was never, but it was hard for me to conceive that my hair could actually get long. Like, you know what I mean? I guess if you never had something, it just doesn't. But it took me seeing people like her, seeing other women, that I was like, oh my God, like maybe that's possible. That's possible. And then go figure that now, once my hair's took off and all this other kind of stuff, it just like, I was like tripping out that people was like saying that I'm their hair idol, and my hair is their goals, and I'm like, wow, like it's unbelievable how it could change places like that, because I'm telling you, it can happen, guys. Like, so if you think, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like, wow, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, trust me, do not believe that. I'm trying to tell you, do not believe that. You just keep going, take your time. This is a journey. You're going to have some setbacks. You're going to have some, whatever. It's a setback for a come up. Don't even think negative thoughts. Just keep thinking positive thoughts. Just be thankful and grateful for what you have. I don't care what's going on in your head, what condition you have. I don't care how fed up you are or whatever. Get back to thinking about what you're grateful for. Like, just still be like, hey, well, you know what? It may not be like this, but I'm still grateful that I got some here. Thank you, Lord, for, allowing, whatever. I could still braid my hair. I could still, like, whatever. Just think of, there's all kinds of things you could think of to be grateful for. And then you would just be surprised um how the blessings would come in. Like, I'm telling you, just think positive. Don't think negative, because what you think you will receive. That's all I can say. Like, you will only get what you think you deserve. So that's a great quote. You will only get what you think you deserve, or which we speak to each, what we speak out is what our reality will be. Okay, so whatever you speak out, that's what your reality is gonna be. You speak out negative, that's what it's gonna be. You think out positive, then that's what it's gonna be too. So you got to keep that in mind, and just be grateful for what you have. That's all. And I'm learning to do that, and it's just, you know, just be thankful. I'm telling you, and the blessings will come in as soon as you're thankful. Because I'm telling you, you won't believe it until it happens to you. Then you'll be like, wow, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. But yeah, guys, so that's what we got covered. The night is getting, I do have to get to work tomorrow, not early in the morning, but I do have to get to work, guys. And I'm so thankful that I decided to come and chime in with you guys tonight. I think about you guys, and sometimes too, y'all, through the week, I was just thinking too, also, because sometimes I do like to chill out and relax on Sundays, although I do know that most of you guys tend to like kind of show up when it's on a Sunday. So I do like that. But what other days? Sometimes let me just no, you know what? Let me put it like this, because my schedules are so wiki, like so wishy-washy. So if it wasn't for the fact that I have a job that schedules me three different schedules, so sometimes throughout the week, I don't know what schedule I might have. You know what I'm saying? And they never coincide with each other. My appointments are different, and then well, the school things, those are in the morning, so those are always in the morning. But still, like sometimes I work till 8 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm working at night, I definitely, ain't coming on if I work at night, because sometimes I have to go back to work that next day, and it could be any time. But what I'm going to do is I'll try to still stick with Sundays as best as possible, because I do know that that is the most um the best time to get engagement. Yeah, Kathy. You said Kathy says, I'm glad I caught you this time. It was good hanging out with you tonight. Take care of yourself. Thank you. I'm so happy that you're here, Kathy. Too. I'm glad that you caught me too. Thanks for the update on your client. Wishing her the best. Thank you, Sister Knots. I'll definitely let her know, guys. Send prayers to her. And I'll definitely let her know. I always, you know, I mean, it's kind of like a thing where you're like, it's like, what can you do? Like, she's an older woman, so she's probably like, hey, I'm just gonna roll out with this, whatever it is. This is, what I'm saying? She's probably feeling like some of the people that's just like, I'm rolling out with this. You know what I'm saying? She said, I offered, like, there's different options. She said she don't like wigs. She's like, that South is hot, which it is hot down here. She said that's not something that she wants. She doesn't like it. She was like, if that's just what it got to be, that's just what it got to be, because she's not doing that. Her husband doesn't like wigs or fake hair, so obviously her husband's okay with her hair too. Like she's like he wants her wearing her natural hair. So that all we can do is honor that. So I said, okay, let me honor that. So I don't even say stuff to her no more about like, you should do this, you should do that. I just, only thing I do is just tell her things that I think could benefit her condition, as far as I could do it, as much as I can. So we just send blessings and just pray over it, and I'm just going to continue to do what I do for her, and just, wish her the best. But thanks for that, Sister Knots. I'll definitely let her know, she'll appreciate that. And I want to thank her for allowing me to talk about her hair condition and her situation and stuff like that, because we all know as women how sensitive that is. It's very sensitive. Like, when you talk about when you're thinning as a woman, like, and you're going through that stuff. This is, shoot, it wasn't easy for me too to finally, it took me a while to gain the courage to be able to talk about my thinning and actually show it and blend that. You think I don't know? People see my thinning and stuff. It's a true thing. It's like, it's not, women, we all feel that way about our hair, although people still give me compliments on my hair all the time. I think I was focusing more on what was wrong about it than, you know with the compliments. And then I just decided to be like, you're not gonna keep doing that, Faye. We can't keep doing that negative talk and that, speaking negative over your hair. Like, if somebody likes what they see, just take the compliment. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of what the heck's going, they're not focusing on that. They're just like, oh my God, your hair's on. They might be looking at the length of my hair or how it looks, the style or whatever. But we have to learn within ourselves. Thank you, Sister Knots. Yes, thank you for shit. Thank you. Yeah, she says thank you for those flowers too. Because let me tell you guys, putting yourself out in front of the world for the world to see, it ain't easy. Like, trust me, what I tell you is not easy, because you're really putting your flaws and you're being very vulnerable on Front Street, where you're going to come across some people that might talk negative about you, or look at you with your little balls. You look at you, you're thin, and you know what I'm saying. People can be very nasty out here. Like, you know what I'm saying. People, everybody ain't nice. You know what I'm saying. So it takes a lot. It took a lot for me to be vulnerable and be like, okay, let me. I'm just gonna have to. It is what it is. And then so once you come to the acceptance of it, and then you're like, what, this is my story. This is what's going on with me. I'm not gonna let nobody else tell my story, or be ashamed of me. I just gotta, what I mean? Because you take that power away, you gotta take your power back. Like, like it or love it or not, whatever, that's your problem. It's like, I'm gonna just. And then also too, when you put your story out, you can help others. Because I know daggone well I ain't the only one dealing with it. I know that for a fact. I know I'm not the only one dealing with it, and I know I don't have the worst case of it. And then also, if you just take the time to listen to what someone has to say that's dealing with these things, you can get help, because I got things that I'm doing. Some of this stuff could help you, help you with your situation or condition. And then it can help you be, have the courage to just, be okay with yourself, be okay with what you're doing. As long as you know you're doing the best that you can do, then that's good enough. That's good enough. Okay. There's all kind of things in this world that way more you can worry about than that. So just do your best and keep on moving. So hopefully we can all, and then everybody else too, because there's a lot of people too that have. Thanks for the likes, guys. So if you come in, if you haven't liked, please like the video. um there's a lot of people that shared a lot of their remedies and different things, guys. So always do that as well, because people sometimes who come and they look at the videos, they'll look at the comments too. They'll be able to go through the comments, guys. So if you guys have some remedies, not just me, telling people, and of course I want everybody to learn from all the knowledge I have. Anything you can give, be in service of other people, that's your karma too, because all that stuff comes back to you. And we're all here to help each other, guys. We're all here to help each other. And then with these videos too, what my goal is also too, especially for our community and our culture, because we've been lied to so long about our hair, and that it wasn't this and that, and we had to do this and that to make our hair beautiful, and all these other lies and different things, when all we had to do was just love on our own hair. Just when you love on it and take care of our hair and stop trying to go against it and just do what it does. It doesn't like all those chemicals. It doesn't like all these different things, the yanking this, and just doing it. It doesn't have to have all that to be acceptable. So once you love it, then it'll love you back, and then that's when you will start seeing the fruits, the fruition of your hair really blossoming for you. Is when you just start loving your hair back. Okay. I'm telling you, it's like everybody that stopped going against the grain, stop going against the grain of your hair, no matter what it is. You just, and stop thinking that your hair gotta be like everybody else's hair. Nobody's hair gotta be like my hair. My hair don't have to be like your hair. My texture don't have to be like yours. Yours don't have to be like mine. I don't care who got the thinnest or who's in the middle, who got the thickest. None of that stuff matters. Good hair is hair that is maintained and well taken care of. That's what good hair is. You groom your hair. I don't care what it is, what style it is, how thick it is, how thin it is, how short it is, how long it is. If you take care of your hair, it can all look good, right? I have four brothers. I was talking to my brothers about this, and that's one thing, guys. I am going to I'm gonna finally, because sometimes I'll talk to guys like outside of this, but as soon as I can get, whether if I do a visit or whatever it is, I swear one of these times I'm gonna get a video with some guys, and I'm gonna actually get their opinion, talk to them about natural hair. I want them to tell y'all what they feel about hair and natural and all this some kind of stuff, and just a little bit about. And I ain't gonna stay on too long because it's 9 o'clock, guys. I know everybody got probably go to work, so I'm definitely gonna try to wrap up by like 9:30 for sure, but it's probably sooner than that, but 9:30, right? when I first went natural and all this other kind of stuff with me, because it's not like it's everybody don't have the same experience. Some people have a good experience, some people don't have like a not so good experience. I've known people that really had issues with their family, that like not understanding why they went natural, their boyfriends, husbands, like serious things where some people got broke up with people, some people like really it's an issue with some people when they change up. This ain't how I met you, whatever. But thank God I ended up having a good situation where the guys I was with, they loved it. Like they, and as a matter of fact, they used to try to push me to go natural before I was even ready. And I used to get into arguments because I didn't want to go. I wasn't ready in my mind mentally or whatever. But throughout the time, and I'm talking about, it didn't even matter who it was, like whether it was not just black people, people at my job, like my managers, like all this other kind of stuff. Even when I went in and they saw like this different, my natural hair for this, I was the one feeling way more uncomfortable. And they were just like, what? And it was so funny because my manager, this white guy, right? He's like, what is that? What you call that's in your hair? And this is what's so crazy because they were so not used to seeing our natural hair that he literally thought I put something in my hair. Like he didn't know that that was my hair. He was like, well, I don't know what this is called that's in your hair. Whatever this is in your hair, that's the winner. You should keep your hair like that. You should keep your hair like that. I was like, what? I was like, he was like, what is that you got in your hair? I said, what you mean? This is my hair. This is my He said, that's your real hair? I said, yes, this is my. He was like, oh, you should have been wearing your hair like this. And you couldn't tell me nothing because I used to wear all kind of stitches, weaves, this, that, all kind of stuff that I just knew it was looking so good. And he would never compliment it. If I had a stitch of braids, if I have like whatever, he would never ever compliment any of those styles. It was only when I wore my hair natural that he would just be like, I like that style you got in your hair or whatever. So a lot of people outside of it was actually like in my head, my brothers and this and that, they just looked and they was like, oh, okay, okay. Guys was like opening doors, hey sister, da da da. Da. I, the experience was actually good. So I didn't have like that bad experience, which was kind of good in that way, which it helped me to keep going on my journey. It allowed me to keep going. So that was good in that sense. But I know everybody don't go through that. Like everybody don't have that. But I'll tell you what, now so many people are doing like at this point in time, there is no, there is no excuse. But I don't want to. But one thing I will say, this is a caveat, guys, because I don't want to. Because I definitely don't want to come off like I'm judging anybody for doing anything or being like you shouldn't do this to your hair, you shouldn't do that. Because I definitely was that girl. I definitely was there. I definitely did it all, and it definitely took me some time to rearrange my mind and understand what was best for me, and I could see the proof in my hair once I did it. It's like it's no question. Like my hair just was way better for it. It's healthier. My head, my scalp, like from all the pulling different things. Like it's like I have a whole different experience with my hair now once I stop all that stuff, and it's only going to benefit you if you do that. Um, and but it took me time. So even with me saying that stuff, guys, I don't want nobody to be offended, and anybody that come across this channel or whatever, like just know that it takes time to get there because it will take a renewing of your mind. You really have to unlearn because it's not just about you doing all these things that are kind of hurtful for our hair. It's the things that you were taught that made you do all those things. So it's like an unlearning. It's almost like being unbrainwashed. I feel like we were brainwashed about our hair and all the negative things that was told to us, which made us do all of the damaging things to our hair. But there is an option to free yourself from that. So there's definitely an option to free yourself from that. You don't have to do that. And this is a channel where you can get a lot of information. If anybody wanted to like, and I actually would like to actually I should probably do like consultations for people. I never even really thought about that to put that out there. But you know what? I think I will like offer that. And never because I know a lot about hair and trying to really get like a plan together for someone to kind of deal with whatever things they may be dealing with, because this really is like a journey with this stuff. I'm telling you, it really and truly is. And I really think that, yeah, I definitely, for sure, I'm definitely knowledgeable enough. That's for sure. And I think I may decide to kind of like, put something together like that for that. Wow, that just dropped down in me. Like, I'm like, whoa, that just dropped down. But it's for real. I can definitely make a difference for some people. I really know that I can. So, and thank for the hearts, whoever threw them hearts up. Thank you for that. I saw that. Yeah, I may actually do that. Wow, 20 guys, that came out of nowhere. I was like, wow. I'm like, I could consult people with it, actually do consultations for folks and stuff like that. Yeah, and can work with people to get where they want to be, in a real healthy place for their hair and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm gonna put that out in the universe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The lock lady probably would do some hair consultation, do some consultations for people. Like, do yeah, I think I'm gonna have to look more into that. But okay, guys. Let me thank you all for being here. Let me send some hearts. Love. Let's see. Let me see what stickers we got in here. Game over. This is like, okay, let's see what these are. Okay, yeah. Yeah, guys. I wanna oh, that's just over here. Y'all, that's just the things over here. Yeah, I'll just tell y'all some hots over here. But yeah, guys. So thank you all for joining me here on this Sunday. Um, good night, Kathy, and thank you so much for joining me. You're one of my usual suspects. You and Carol Shepherd on Noonly. And it's just and Sister Knox showing up, just some of these familiar names and stuff like that. I appreciate you guys really for hanging out with me and all that kind of stuff. And just like, please be I would just say be patient with me and all those kind of things when it comes to me. Like if I skip a week or so, sometimes I need a break, y'all. That's what it also would it be too, is and it's not just about being on here, it's just all the other things that are going on in my life. I'm just in a season of God has me. I'm in a see. I changed my life when I relocated to a whole new state, y'all, and it's really not as easy. It's not easy when you relocate to another state. It really isn't. Like when you don't have a lot of family and friends and stuff, and you're just trying to network and make friends and stuff. It's like you did it for your own personal reset and stuff, just to find I would say a better life, or like a more like the next step evolving of your life, you know. And it's just it's really sometimes it's hard, like it's really hard when you're doing it by yourself, but at the same time you got to still keep the lights on. You got to still I have to still this even costs money to have equipment, to have my equipment, to have things, you keep a phone, and to be able to even get on here. Like you can't do all that if you don't making no money. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? I still got to work all these jobs to do this, and then just know that I always do my best to come here with you guys. Okay, and just know sometimes if I'm not here, it's just that I might need a break. I just need a mental break or just some time down. Sometimes I'm working 7 days a week and I don't even realize it until I'm just like conked out, like, oh my God, like I gotta take a day off. I gotta take this. And sometimes when that Sunday come, I might actually be having a client that morning, because most of my Sundays are taken up with clients, actually, really. And sometimes I come on even after I have a client, even after I've worked like 4 or 5 days in a row. So that's what that be about. So sometimes I gotta make time for myself. So that's what that be. But I always still think about that. So just know, even if I'm not here, guys, y'all just know the lock ladies still be thinking about y'all, because I do. I always think about my channel. I'm proud of this channel. I'm thankful for all of my subscribers, all my lock stars. I love you guys. I'm very proud of all you guys. And I do think about my channel because this is like special for me, because I didn't know that I would even do all this. And so I'm very proud of it. Like, it might not be like big, just that I got thousands of people. I don't care. I am thankful, grateful for the ones I have, and for, this community I'm building with you guys. So I want y'all to know I appreciate all you guys and y'all coming here, hanging out with your girl. I don't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm just myself. And I hope that y'all can feel that I'm just, I'm what y'all see is what y'all get. Okay? What y'all see is what y'all get. Okay. I just be authentically me, and then just hope that y'all feel that, y'all like that, and then I receive it back. That's all. That's all it is, y'all. So if y'all have any ideas, questions, and then also too, sometimes when y'all don't see me, y'all holler at me like, "Hey, girl, where you at? What's up? What's up? Where you been?" You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes that might like jog me too. Because sometimes that jogs me. So Carolyn, Kathy, all of y'all. If y'all don't see me, Sister Knots. If y'all don't catch me on a Sunday, if I miss a Sunday or two coming up, y'all drop a message on me like, "Hey, where you at? What's up? We want to see you." Y'all understand we work together, and that helps me to come back too, and that helps me to go like, "Okay, I gotta let me carve this time to check out my folks. I gotta go check in with this lifestyle family." Okay, so y'all do that too. That helps me, guys. That's the way that y'all can help me. Okay. Yeah, okay. So Kathy said, just come when you can and keep being you. We can do that too. Right, right. Thank you, Kathy Scott. I definitely will. And I will come when I can, y'all. So just know, I'll come when I can. And whenever anything will change, like, because God is a miracle worker. So, whenever, if my situation gets different where my time frees up, I will definitely be here more, because I do like the coming here. And then we can talk about other things, life, just different situation stuff. I always try to keep it with here, but I also, like I said, I like to kind of, just talk like well-being too, because um just to see how everyone is doing, y'all. We don't have enough of that. A lot of us are out here doing it by ourselves, single, doing things, and this is a nice way to come together and talk about stuff. If some people are feeling a certain way, if something's on their heart, you want to drop that and talk about it. We can all talk about that and support each other. Like, we can do whatever we want to do. And just one last thing too, because I'm starting to get out more, especially since I don't really have a lot of family here too. So they're starting to do a lot of family stuff at our community center. So I went to Taco Night Tuesdays, honey, and met some of my neighbors. I met an Italian man that lives upstairs from me who moved all the way from Italy here. He said he's been here a year, and he said he's been adjusting and stuff like that. I saw him a couple times here and there, but I thought he was just like some random white guy that lived out here. But he literally just moved here from Italy. I never knew that until he spoke and was talking. His accent so deep and thick. I was like, oh my God. We were like, whoa. I never even knew this man just moved here from Italy. And then just meeting people, and it was a good time. So at least twice a month now, I'll be over at the community center hanging out with the neighbors, and we'll be doing just there's a black lady that was hired to put on events here. So I was like, let's do some live jazz stuff. I was like, and they have mobile bars that can sit up if people want to have a drink of wine or whatever and listen to some jazz. By the way, guys, clap, clap, clap for me. I have stopped drinking since the first of the year. I have not had a drink of any kind. Not that I was a big drinker, but I am so proud of that, guys. I did a cleanse. I didn't plan it, But I have been praying in the past for God to just like stop me. Like I just said, take the taste of alcohol out of my mouth, because I was having my wine and then I was having my prosecco. Yes, thank you, thank you. What happened was I didn't even plan it like that. I just was like, the first of the year, I'm gonna just stop. And I said I want to actually stop before the first of the year comes. I was like, I'm going to have my last drink, and what I was drinking was either some wines or prosecco. You know, like the little proseccos where you can have mixed champagne with orange juice, like mimosas. So I was like, I'm gonna just have that on New Year's Eve. I said before the new year come in, that'll be my last guess. So they have the little mini one. So I had stopped. I had, because sometimes after work, working all these jobs, I would be like, I'm gonna buy me a bottle of wine. I'm gonna chill out, get me some sushi. I used to do that little. That was for me to chill out. So I would have my wine. Then it went from the whole bottle of wines to the half a bottles of wines. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna start slowly. I'm one of them type of people. I realize I'm not a cold turkey person. Most of the time I tried to stop something, I would fail if I tried to do cold turkey. But if I was to gradually, I learned that I'm a gradual person. As long as I can do things gradually, it works out better for me. So I went from the full bottles of wine to the half a bottles of wine, and then from wines I went to proseccos, like the champagne. Like I was like, let me dwindle it down less and less, because I went from mixed drinks, yeah, because I used to do mixed drinks sometimes, not maybe lemon drops or like different things like that. It wasn't like crazy because I was more of a social drinker, but still I went from drinks to wines to prosecco, and then as I was leaving from the prosecco, I jumped to kombuchas, like that, like the fermented teas, like the kombucha drink. I went to that, and that, because and that's another thing, guys. If you're trying to stop drinking, a good thing to go to is those kombuchas. And what I would do is pour them in my wine glasses or my champagne flutes. You got to trick your mind. And this is the longest, y'all, I have gone. Like this is I'm going on 4 months without having, and my body feels better. I feel better. Like I'm like, oh my, I wasn't a crazy drinker, but this is the longest I have gone. I prayed about it and forgot. And then but I did do a cleanse in the beginning of the year. So that did help me, because I went on a 14-day. This is how I feel like it happened in the beginning. So, like I said, New Year's Eve, I had my last mimosa. Then I started a cleanse. I did a 14-day cleanse, but I only made it to like 7 days, because for some reason it just was really hard for me to finish. But then I still was eating clean. Then I ended up having a procedure in the hospital that I had to do another cleanse, and then I had that procedure. So it ended up going on into the third week. After that, I got sick. Like I had caught whatever was going on down here, and then I ended up getting sick for like 2.5 weeks. I was like sick for like 2.5 weeks, and so that ended up bringing me into a month and a half. And once that happened, for some reason I didn't have the taste for drinking at all. So through all that stuff that happened, I didn't drink. So I think that's what helped me to reset my body. And then I just noticed after that, like, oh my God, I haven't had a drink in a month and a half. I was like, you know what? Let me continue this. Let me see how long I can go. And it kind of went like this. So guys, I'm gonna see if I can go non-drinking for the rest of this year, y'all. I'm gonna try it. Let's and if anybody want to join me on this challenge, anybody, it don't have to be for the whole year. It could be for the next month, because I'm just trying to get to the next month. I'm trying to finish up this month, and then when I get to May, I'm gonna try to go to the next month, y'all. If anybody down to join me, let me know, and then we can put that in my community section, guys, so we can go over there too with the community section, and then just I'll start dropping some things over there, like with some of the challenges and different things like that we can get on, because I want to kind of like do some of wellness things here like that. So we'll do that, like drinking or doing like an exercise thing, y'all, because I'm trying to get into the exercise too. I've been going to the gym a little bit. So we gonna do that. So there's a couple little things we want to do. And then, like I said, I may add those counseling things. So all right, y'all. I'm gonna go for real now, because it is like 9:28, right on cue, guys. Again, Thank you all. Challenges will be great. Yes, Kathy. Yes. I think that will be great too. I want us as women, especially as Black women, because a lot of us, no matter what our ages are, any of that, all of us are, getting up there. We're getting more mature, and a lot of us are doing it like solo, like on our own. And and also with a lot of things happening, I don't know if how many of y'all is stocking your pantries, right? Are any of y'all stocking y'all pantries? I just went and got 2 food buckets. If y'all want to see, I'm gonna wait for the next. I'll probably wait for the next video or actually put it in the community tab. I'm gonna put it in the community tab. So, because I'm not gonna do it here, I'm gonna put it in the community tab. I'm gonna take a picture of the food grade buckets that I got, and then the tops, and then and it's like these mylar bags that you're supposed to use to go in those buckets, like to stock up on your pantries and stuff. Because with crazy people in office right now, I noticed that a lot of people are actually stocking up. And then I'm gonna probably make a little video on like what I have, what are the type of things what we should be thinking about to stock up, because we just don't know what is going to happen. We rather be prepared than not prepared. I'd rather have stuff, like if stuff, because when different things start happening, they talk about recession might happen here and all that, people start going crazy and just cleaning the shelves off, and we don't want to be caught out there, and then they'll hike up those prices, because remember that happened during COVID. We never thought that was going to happen, and it happened. So don't think things can't happen, especially with this crazy Agent Orange is in office. So it's a lot of craziness going on, and we can agree that Agent Orange is bugging out. Okay. We don't know where we're going, and that man is going to be in there for the next 4 years. Okay, that is Agent Orange and he and his regime in that office. That's not administration, that is a regime. They are literally, people are getting kidnapped off the street with no nothing. Like, we are in a different time. Okay, nip napped. Let me say that. Let me put that back. Nip napped off the street, because I don't know what could go here or whatever. But there's a lot going on that we actually make sure we looking, not with rose-colored glasses, but looking exactly what's happening out here, guys, because this stuff is really happening around us right now. It's really not cool, and there is a lot going on. And not to say be in a where you in total fear of living your life, but you have to be cautious of what's actually happening and going on, because stuff is actually happening in that White House over there. Okay, and it's a lot. Our stock market, who's all in the stock market? I made the mistake and went and looked at my portfolio, honey. Let me tell you, it wasn't cute. And this is the second time this happened. It did recover, but a lot of people's money now. If y'all got y'all money in the stock market, like lady Sister Knot says she is, yep. And I listen. Mine is down 5 digits, okay? 5 digits, and I ain't talking about 100, 500, okay? It's thou, okay? We ain't talking about hundreds, thou. $5,000 down. Okay, yes, that is a crying emoji. Yeah, you ain't lying about that, girl. That is definitely a crying emoji. Okay, let me see where. Let me see. Yes, yes, that's how serious it is out here. Like, it ain't no joke, man. It is not no joke. And I'm hoping I am. I was like, wow. Like, when I just was like, yeah, you ain't lying. Wow. I was like, wow. Like, you know, yeah, it's crazy. And the thing is now I'll tell you what I find that is different. So you got your 401ks, you got your 403bs. I have the 403b. So I don't have the 401k, I have the 403b. Now my job right now, which is actually a nice option for like because I have a part-time job. Hold on, y'all. Let me close these blinds. It's nighttime, guys. I don't want nobody to be looking in here. Hold on a minute. Yeah, because I got my light on. I'm like, shoot, people, and I'm in the back. I don't want no strangers walking back here. So I have the 403b, and but the 403b is very similar to the 401k, anyways. But in my other job, they just offered us to join, like even as a part-time person, they actually offered us to that we could open up a 401k in this in the part-time. And I was thinking about that too, but I was like, and although some people say, like, especially people that got more money that's heavy in the stock market, they was like, okay, this is a time to buy. When a lot of people be scared and trying to sell off, they tell you don't sell off, because if you sell off, you have a government pension, Carolyn says. Now you're lucky with the government pension, because pensions, they don't even do pensions no more. When I used to work at the hospital in Boston, well, even though, okay, I have my pension IRA and Roth IRA. Okay, so I have my 403b and I have my Roth IRA. Now, with the Roth, because I was just about to talk about the Roth. With the Roth, I noticed my Roth hasn't been affected. So I don't know if that Roth, how that goes, if that's connected or whatever, but I've been actually doing, my Roth hasn't been affected. I don't know, Sister Knots, if you check your Roth, but I know, but my if you check, and there's different, what I've noticed too with the Roth, you can do different Roths, like, so you can do it like the way that the institution I go through, you can do 3 years, like 5 years, 7 years, and I think, I don't know if it's a 9 year, but I know it was like 1, 3, 5, and 7. But if you do the longer ones, the longer, if you do the longer, the one that's extended out the longest, you're gonna make more money on interest. It may be exactly, the government pension went away. They now have 401k. Right. The government pensions went away, and they don't, but you know what? But see, I had read something, I had watched this documentary, this thing about them bringing in that 401k and the 403bs, and they're not as good as what the pensions were. Because with the pensions, I'm gonna tell you the difference between them 401ks and them 403bs. When you had that pension, the pension was for your life, the duration of your life. So whenever you had a pension, so you got them old school people that had the pension, and once they retired, the government had to take care of them for the rest of their life. So they got the checks for the rest of their life. But the 401k and the 403b don't do that. They don't take care of you for the entirety of your life. They take care of you to up to what's in there. And once that money is gone, then that's that. So yes, that's the difference between a pension and that. I watched a show on that, and I was like, oh man, that's true. Because so basically, depending on how much you got in that 401k and 413b is what how it takes care of you. They don't take care of you for the rest of your life. So you have to actually do the due diligence and be like, okay, let me add on to something else. That's why I like how what Sister Knox is saying with the IRA. See that, okay, so I watched, what's her name? Susie Orman. Any of you guys familiar with Susie Orman? I'm gonna show you. This is a good person. Yeah, yes, it is. And of cost of living raising with the pension. Yes, it is. And cost of living raised with the pensions. Yes. Okay, hold on. Susie. This is a good lady to watch, y'all. Susie Orman. I think I'm on her podcast. This lady right here. Susie Orman. This lady right here. Yes, I've watched her. Yes, yes. Kathy says she's watched her. Susie Orman is a very, very good person to watch because when I say that lady know about money and what to do with your money, that lady right there, she knows what to do. And I got into my Roth IRA because of her, because I had watched one of her things where she kept saying like, listen to what I'm telling you. What I know now, it just, I'm like, oh my God, right? All of my accounts were affected. I have lowered my risk level because I'm nearing retirement. Sister Knox. Okay, okay, okay. So so that makes sense. And what I'm gonna do too, Sister Knox, I usually call my institution every year and talk to a representative and see where I am with my portfolio. I have not done that this year. I don't even think I did it last year, and usually I do it every year. But the only reason how come I haven't is because I've been doing so much, like just being in this whole new place. It's just kind of like threw me off of my regular game of how I usually do stuff. But I am going to, but that have been in the back of my mind. I got to go ahead and write myself a note like, okay, go talk to them about where I am. But I'm not at the point of retiring yet. Are you within like the next 5 years or so? Because see, with me, I'm 54, so I still have some time, and I'm still trying to determine what I'm gonna do. I am at such a reset. I was in the hospital most of my life. Oh, 2 years. Okay, 2 years. I've been in the hospital most of my life, and I was trying to retire from there when I was in Boston. But when COVID hit, they furloughed me. And then I went through this whole big crap with them where they were supposed to give me my job back after a year because when COVID hit, I was out of work for like the whole year, and they were still paying me, but they was like, "Oh, we're gonna call you back, and then we're gonna get you a job, and if not this job, the equivalent." So I was supposed to go back to the job I was at, but the person cut the new a manager cut the job, and then but they were supposed to find me an equivalent, and then they claimed that they couldn't find me another equivalent at that job, which was total BS. And they offered me a package, even though I already knew they had done that to several other black people there. Like, because once you start getting at that end where you're making the most money, they don't want you to be like, so it, and I had a union, I talked to my union, and they had already was like, oh my God, this is BS what they're trying to do to you, whatever. But I had already ended up during that time I was off, had made plans to come down here and do something totally different. That's the only reason why I didn't fight it, because if I was staying there, I would have fought that and I would have won because I had a union. I was in a union. And I don't know, I had just kind of got to a point where I was just sick and tired of those 21 years. I was there 21 years, and I just was like, you know what? Since I said I'm gonna just try another opportunity, um, that was the choice I made. And trust me, it hasn't been easy starting over my life down here. It definitely hasn't been easy, but it's getting better and better. Like, God is like has been sustaining me. Like, it's not looking like what I thought it was gonna look like, but he's providing a way for me to, get my needs met, for my bills to be paid, and through the networking and people, they like, Faye, sign up for this. You could be a school teacher. Don't you know they need a lot of them here today? So all the things I never thought I would do, I thought I was just going to be back in the hospital. I'm in the library. I'm a substitute teacher. I'm doing hair again. Like, I didn't know that I was going to end up doing these different things, but these are the things that's bringing me the money to sustain me. I didn't know I was going to do all this, but this is how it's going. So I'm just being led by God. I'm praying and just having Him direct my next steps. And in the meantime, I decided like I'm gonna get debt free. So let me start making all these moves and stuff to be debt free. And guys, I'm working on that, getting this school loan. Listen, guys, if anybody have any school loans, if you have any school loans from back, which I had, and right here I had my school loans, and thankful to God, I'm at the end. I'm right, like this year, everything worked out like how I'm planning it to. It is going slowly but surely. once I get my debt free stuff done this year, I'm a, now all that the money I'm pushing it into, yes, clear. Oh, trust me, Sister Knox, I am on the road to being. Let me tell you, debt free. Let I wish there was some. I wish I could uh have some symbols. Let me see something. Okay, I'm telling you right now, being being in debt, being in debt in this country is you're enslaving yourself. You are enslaving. That's slavery. If you stay in debt, these credit cards, all that other kind of stuff, that is straight up slavery. I'm like, I am freeing myself of all. It's a trap. It's a trap, y'all. It's a trap. Like I'm like, no more of that. I'm getting them that, and I'm not far from it now. Like I literally can finally see the rainbow. The like my pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I'm like, oh my god! In 2025, Faye Taylor is debt free, straight up. Like I am debt free. I got like in 2025, and that's including that school loan, all the kind of stuff. It's been a long time going. I've been dealing with that school loan since 2011. Once I graduated out of school, and the loan forgiveness program came around. And if anybody want to have any information about them Parent Plus loans, if you have a child that went through that, I did that with my daughter with them Parent Plus loans. I learned a lot from them Parent Plus loans. Okay, it's a slave lender. I'm telling you right now. Oh my God, like the stuff. It's like I have so much stuff. Like, and it's another thing. Like with counseling too, guys. I was even thinking about. I have I know how to raise credit scores. Like I learned it. Like when I was serious about getting out of debt, raising my credit score, like I went from having no credit to learning how to build credit to, and this was with me. Nobody taught me. Like I went on, like I had gained did research, got all this information, and I literally went from having no credit to now I actually built myself up to like 776. Like, and once my school, like in the 740s to seven, literally unbelievable, like the stuff I learned about how to get myself raise my credit score. And I actually did it. I was like so proud of that. Like I was like, when you get determined to get yourself straight, you will do the work. Okay. So I learned how to do that. There's definitely other things down the line, guys, I want to teach because I've been seeing a lot of different people. I wanted to do an ebook on like, helping like people that have African American children that don't know how to do their hair, that I see all the time in the library. I work in the youth department, so I see a lot of different things. So I wanted to, there's different things that I want to do. I have some ideas of different things that I want to do. That I gotta, that I'm trying to roll out, like just writing my ideas out and just doing things because it just with the information I have, it's just something else. Like if I knew this information when I was younger, when I think back on the information I have now, I'm like, oh my God. It's like it's crazy. So many of us did not grow up with that financial knowledge. Like we just did not grow up. Like in my family, when I think about like my mother and father, them never sat me down and talked about financial things. This is how you build wealth. This is how you do this. Y'all need to start. You gotta start saving your money. Pay yourself first. Look into high yield savings accounts. Don't be putting your money in bank accounts that are only giving you 15 cents at the end of the month. This and that. You need to be putting your money in stuff. That's going to double your money and like really give you increases on your money. Do y'all know how much money are we getting like at our age in your Roth accounts now? How much you think you can put in there yearly? So since people know, how much money yearly can you put in your Roth a year? So once all my debt is cleared up, I'm going to start doing all of that right now. I thought it was, I thought it's 8K. If I'm correct, I'm not for sure, but I heard 8K that now because at first I thought it was so is it seven or is it eight? Because I thought I heard somebody saying you can do 8K a year. See if you look on if you have your phone, see if it's here, see if it's 8K. Because I thought I heard somebody say you could put 8K. So my goal right now is to be like, when this all this year, I have been denying myself trips, which have been very hard. Not like I'll take a whole bunch of trips, but shopping for clothes. I've been rotating my clothes, only doing little things here and there, little shirt here, little pair of jeans, whatever, where it was so different. The pocketbooks and all that stuff I used to buy when I had a good job, honey. No more spending no $400-500 on no Coach bags and this and that. Forget about Louis Vuitton. I wasn't even doing that, but I'm just saying. I still used to once a year, like it's my birthday, I'm gonna buy me a $500 bag. I have what I started doing is like, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna go in that closet and you're gonna pull out all them nice bags you've purchased over the years and you're gonna rotate them. You're gonna actually use them. Okay, so depends on age. My accounts allow 7 due to my age, otherwise 6. Okay, that sounds right. So if you're my age, if you're 54, can I do 6 or 7? Can I do 7 at 54? Because I want to know, because soon as because when I finish up, okay, 7. Once I finish up on my debt, all of my extra money I'm putting in my Roth. I'm gonna build up my Roth. I'm gonna build up my Roth. I'm gonna keep that going, keep that going, keep that going. And that's one thing that I'm like, oh my guys, listen, let me tell you something. If y'all can stop learning, we got to get to the point where we got to start learning how to build wealth, guys. We haven't been, a lot of us haven't been taught. I can't say how many have or haven't, but if you have not, it's never too late to start, guys. Open you up with an 401 or 4K and match to the max. I wish I had all these years I have been in my job for 21 years. They was maxing. It was I had mad benefits at the hospital I worked at. Like they was matching everything. They had all kind of different benefits, all different things that I could have done. It mm. I just like it's crazy how we didn't know stuff, because if I had even known some of the stuff that I know now, I started this job in my early 20s. Had I known better about saving and putting my money away while I was making that money and buying those bags and all that kind of stuff, and I had been putting that in the stock market, just putting it away while I was young like that, I would have already had enough money in my account. I could have bought me a house already. I could have already bought me a house. Like if I would have kept that money going, I know for a fact, I'm just from what I ended up saving even now to this point. If I had been doing that and matching to the max from my early 20s, and I stayed there 21 years, it would have been gravy. But it's like, I guess you just say better late than never. I jumped in when I could. I didn't max out what I would have liked to max out what I know now. But even with that Roth, now that I see, like, I'm like, oh, I'm definitely using that as my second retirement plan right there with that Roth account. And y'all, listen, the more you put in that Roth IRA and the longer. So for all you here, if you're in your 30s, 40s, I don't care, even with your 50s, even 60s, do what you can. And like you said, if you're closer to retirement age, you are going to change your portfolio around. That's going to more benefit you for retirement. And I think they were saying something about like higher, I don't know if it's higher risk, more rewards when you're older, or less risk, because they had me when I first started mine, it was like less risk. And then they were saying as you get to retirement, you can try to do more risk together. I don't know, or put some of it away, not take it out, but put some in an account where you could be like, okay, boom, well, no matter what happens, this here we're not messing with, or whatever. But guys, or high yield savings accounts and checking accounts and stuff like that. Don't keep your money in these little accounts just giving you 10 cents, 15 cents, because there's other accounts that you can put your money in that will get you more. We got to do this because guess what? Ain't nobody coming to save nobody. And then also a lot of us are doing it by ourselves. So this is finally opportunities and chances for us to finally build a little bit of stuff. And of course, like if like for the wealth type of thing, we got to try to get a house or buy something. They said real estate is the one thing that's gonna it can help you build, get equity and all that other kind of stuff. And I know that's scary for some of us who haven't done it, right? An advisor should give you a risk assessment to determine, Sister Not said, an advisor should give you a risk assessment to determine your risk level. Right. Are you talking about with your a portfolio? Is that what you're talking about with the portfolio? Because I'm with the company. I used to be with yes, okay. I used to be with what was the other one? I'm with TIA CREF now. TIAA CREF. But I used to be with what was the other one? It was two of them that my job went through. We had Fidelity. We was with Fidelity at first. That's what the companies they went with us with Fidelity. But then they switched over from Fidelity to TIAA CREF. So once I had got furloughed from that job and left that job, I just kept my plan and just was doing it on my own. So I never closed it. I said, no, keep it, because if I get back to another job, I'll just roll it to the other job. And then I just found out at the job I'm at, they were saying that even though it's part-time, they were saying that I can roll it over to them. But before I do that, I want to make sure, I want to see, because it's different because I'm part-time, I'm not full-time with them. So I want to see, like, okay, if I rolled it over to you all, do y'all match it? Can I put anything? Because they, because even with the 401k, they were saying that they don't match us with that, but they can offer it to us where we could take money out of our, funds, and they'll open it up for us, but they don't match it. So the best thing is, of course, is if you can get it matched. And I want to see, I guess maybe I'll see if there's a how much they charge, because I know they charge to manage your portfolio. So maybe I can just try to see, like, okay, how much do they charge? How much do they charge? What is the fee on both of it? Would it be better with the government to manage mine over here, or the TIA CREF? So there's just things to kind of think about, guys. And that's just what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna just try my best to guys, just try our best to do the best we can. Like, the more we know, try to set ourselves up as much as we can, y'all. Because if not, it's like, what's gonna be there to help us get through if we don't, have these funds set aside? Because the government, like, they plan on cutting a lot of stuff. This administration is trying to mess with Social Security and all this other kind of stuff. So it's more important now than ever to have something set up if they messing with Social Security. But okay, guys, it's going on 10 o'clock. We passed 2 hours and 16 minutes. This was great, y'all. So we can talk about more stuff like that. But like I said, I am going to show y'all the buckets that I have. And then in the community section, I'll probably, because that's easy, I could just take a picture and just post that down in there, and then just show y'all, about, like, kind of stocking up your pantries and different things like that. And if y'all have any kind of ideas or anything y'all have, go over to my community section on Facebook Live, and then just go over to that section where you can drop things down in there. Y'all can add pictures and do things like that over in the community section. So we can just talk about pretty much kind of anything over there, guys. Okay. So I will be doing that. So look out for that, for those buckets. I'll do that this week. If not, I'm not going to do it tonight, because I'm going to be getting ready to go to bed. But like through this week, I'll take the pictures of the buckets, and then I'll drop them down there. And then we'll just kind of talk about different things. If you guys got anything that y'all would like to share or anything, drop it below. Remember, keep in touch. If I have my little times off, I'm taking a rest, a fay day. Okay, I do 2 a month. So I do take time for myself, and I think it is a good thing that keeps me energized to come back to give you guys more. If there's anything y'all want to talk about, let me know. Drop it down below. I always need different ideas as well, guys. I'm going to work on the store so that you guys can help out that way with buying through my link. That helps me. I'm just keeping it real. So, I put out the time, so y'all help me back, So I'll be putting that Amazon link up. I'm going to actually look into that this week. That is my assignment this week, to post those pictures. I'm going to write that down. Post buckets, post food grade buckets, and then I'm going to and then post Amazon store link. Okay, so we're gonna work on that this week. Yeah, that's my assignment. That's my assignment, and I mean that. We're gonna get that done, y'all. We're gonna do that, and then we are going to work on some challenges too. Some challenges. So I want to implement some challenges with y'all too, so we can be getting into that. All right. Okay. I love you guys. As always, sharing is caring, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Y'all share this video with other people that y'all feel like can benefit from this. And y'all all have a good night. Okay. All right. I will see you on the next one. Thank you guys for the love and hearts. Thank you all for being here tonight. Y'all made my night. Okay. It was great conversing with you all. All right, y'all have a good night. Okay, I will see y'all next time.